Hey everyone, Jessica Coulter here, and today we're going to be talking about midterms. So, if you or your child is getting ready to take midterms, or maybe you did not too long ago, then let me know this message is relevant to you. Just tap that like or heart button for me. And if you want to let me know in the comments below what class or subject you're about to take a midterm in, it would be awesome, and we'd love to cheer you on. So before we jump into how to make the most of midterms, just want to introduce myself. Again, my name is Jessica Coulter, and I am the CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. I help students with their test-taking strategies and study tips, no matter if it's on the ACT or maybe even just in their general education classes. I also love to help middle schoolers with their math and help students, third grade and beyond, all the way through adults in grad school, work on their papers and proofreading. So now that you know who I am ready to tell you how to make the most of your midterms. So, the first tip here might seem kind of obvious, but I still want to say it because I know not everyone will do this, unless I encourage them. So, tip number one is to take your midterms seriously. And the reason here is some people blow them off because they're not finals. So midterms, yes, they might not be as weighted as heavily as your finals, but they still are really important. They're still going to be a huge portion of your grades and are essential for passing the class. So that is tip number one. Take your midterms seriously. So if you are looking for some more help with test taking strategies or maybe just study tips in general, would love to have you in my group. The link's in the description. It's facebook.com/groups/A's for students. Okay, let's move on to tip number two as to how to make the most of your midterms. And that is when you're taking your midterms, realize it is a great opportunity to learn more about your professor. And when I say that, on your midterm, there's a really good chance it's going to be more than just, a chapter test. It's going to probably involve half of the class or everything you've learned up until that point. Well, use the midterm to figure out what kind of questions your teacher is going to ask. Because if he asks the questions, multiple choice, multi-answer, essay, whatever he chooses, the wording he uses, as well as the style of question he or she uses on the midterm, will probably be very similar to the final. So use the midterm to kind of get into your teacher's brain and figure out exactly what he or she wants you to know and how he or she wants you to know it. So before we move on to tip number three, just want to check in. What do you guys think? If you're liking the video, great. Tap that like or heart button for me. If you're on YouTube watching this, make sure you become a subscriber. And if you're on LinkedIn, make sure we are connected. So let's move on to tip number three here about your midterms. And this one came from a friend, so really grateful to have his input. And what his thought process is about your midterms is use the midterms to realize what you need to study. Because like I just said, if you're learning, halfway through the class at this point with your midterms, and then you see a question on the midterm and you're like, whoa, what is this teacher talking about? I don't remember learning this. Well, then that should hopefully be a great indicator to you that, hey, I need to go back and study this and figure out what this means and what I was supposed to already know. So that way, when it comes up on the final again, you are actually prepared this time. So guys, that is everything I have for you about midterms. Like I said, would love to have you in my group. The link's in the description. So if you need some more help with your midterms, or maybe you want some help just with your test taking in general, join my group so you can get those study tips and test taking strategies so you can pass your midterms and all of your other tests. So that way the tests and your grades in those classes are not going to prevent you from taking advantage of whatever opportunities come your way. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.